Have you ever caught your reflection in the bathroom mirror and just paused? Like, wait a minute, when did my face start looking so different? The jawline feels softer. There's a little extra under the chin. And the weird thing? You're not even tired. But your face looks off. And it's not about makeup or age. Sometimes it's your haircut. Yep. That bob you've had for years? It might be pulling your whole face down. One small shift could lift it all back up. Hi there. I'm Emma, and I've been helping women rediscover their beauty through hair for over 2 decades. Now, if you're over 50 and you've looked in the mirror lately thinking, why doesn't this cut feel like me anymore? You are not alone. Our faces change. And when our hairstyle doesn't keep up, it can throw the whole balance off. But that doesn't mean you need a makeover. It just means your style needs to grow with you, not against you. Let's be real for a second. What worked for us in our 30s just doesn't hit the same once we pass 50. Your face shifts. Your jawline softens. The neck starts telling its own story. But here's the catch. Most of us keep the same haircut we've had for years. Why? Because it's familiar. It's safe. But suddenly one day you look in the mirror and think, something's off. It's not you. It's not aging. It's just that the style you loved isn't doing you any favors anymore. Our features change and our haircut needs to change with them. Otherwise, it's like wearing clothes that used to fit. Except now they pinch in all the wrong places. The good news? You don't need a whole makeover. You just need to understand how shape, length, and volume can either work for you or against you. And that small shift can change everything. Let's talk about the jaw length blunt bob. You know the one. It's sharp, it's sleek, it looks great on the model in the magazine. And maybe you wore it 10 years ago and felt fabulous. But here's the thing. Once we hit a certain age, the face changes. The jawline softens, the neck isn't as defined, and suddenly that clean horizontal line of hair? It's not helping us anymore. It's highlighting exactly what we're trying to draw attention away from. Why? Because the human eye naturally lands where lines stop. And when your haircut stops right at your jaw, that's exactly where people are going to look. It puts a box around your face, especially around the part where skin tends to sag a bit more as we age. Instead of lifting your look, it actually drags it down. Not because it's a bad haircut, but because it's not working with your current face. I've had women tell me, but it looked great on her. Sure it did. Maybe she had a different facial shape. Or maybe she's in her 30s with a sharp jaw and tight skin. Or maybe she had a stylist who tweaked the cut just enough to make it flow. That's the secret. It's not about the bob itself. It's about how it ends, where it hits, and how it moves. So what's the fix? First, drop the length. Even 1 inch below the chin can make a huge difference. That extra space opens up the neckline, elongates the face, and softens everything. Second, lose the heavy line. A blunt cut holds weight at the bottom, which just adds bulk around the jaw. Instead, ask your stylist for light layers in the front. Not choppy, not shaggy, just soft movement. This creates flow, and flow tricks the eye upward. Now let's add one more detail that changes the game. Side-swept bangs. These are magic. Why? Because they cut across the forehead diagonally, pulling the eye to the eyes and cheekbones instead of the lower face. They also balance the shape, especially if your face is starting to feel wider at the bottom. A soft bang that ends around the cheekbone draws focus exactly where you want it. Here's something else to consider, graduation. A slight angle in the bob where the front is just a bit longer than the back keeps the cut from feeling boxy. It adds movement and gives the neck a longer, more graceful appearance. And when does the cut have shape? The face lifts. The energy shifts. You feel lighter, even if you didn't change much at all. At the end of the day, the bob isn't the problem. It's how it's executed. The right length, the right layers, the right bangs. All of it can work together to support your features, not fight against them. And when does it all line up? You'll know. Not just by how it looks, but by how you feel when you look in the mirror. Let's have a little heart-to-heart about the pixie cut. Now I love a shortcut. It's bold. It's liberating. It screams confidence. But the truth is, not all pixies are created equal. Especially when we're talking about women over 50. See, the problem isn't the pixie itself. It's how it's done. A super tight pixie with shaved sides and a cropped nape might look fierce on the red carpet or in a style magazine. But in real life, that same cut can draw attention to exactly the areas we want to soften. When there's no hair to frame the face, the focus shifts to the jawline, the neck, and any sagging skin we might have. And let's be honest, most of us have a little something going on there. That's normal. That's life. But our hair shouldn't be highlighting it. When you remove all the softness, you remove the support structure around your face. Think of it like taking the frame off a painting. The edges disappear, and suddenly the whole picture feels incomplete. That's what a too tight pixie can do. From the front, it can make the face appear harsh. From the side, there's nothing to gently transition from ear to chin. And from the back, a cropped nape can make your neck look shorter than it actually is. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up on short hair. You just have to rethink how it's shaped. Add a little length around the ears. Let the hair softly curve forward instead of being shaved off. This small change helps follow the natural line of your cheekbones and brings focus back up to your eyes. Volume is also your friend here. A bit of height at the crown can work wonders. It lifts the entire look, literally and visually. That upward movement draws the eye up and gives the illusion of a longer, more youthful face. If you're worried about looking too round or square, crown volume helps balance the proportions. And let's not forget the power of bangs. Short, blunt bangs can be a little intense, but a soft side-swept fringe? Game changer. It adds flow. It adds dimension. And it softens the forehead in the most flattering way. Plus, it brings attention to the eyes where it should be. The goal here isn't to go edgy or extreme. It's to find the sweet spot between easy maintenance and beautiful framing. The best pixies for mature women have shape, have softness, and have just enough length to flatter without overwhelming. So the next time you're sitting in the salon chair thinking about going short, ask your stylist for a pixie with some movement. A tapered nape, longer sides, gentle layers on top, and a soft bang can make all the difference. You're not hiding behind your hair. You're shaping the frame that shows off your strength, your softness, and your story. Let's talk about long, straight, one-length hair. And look, I get it. Long hair feels safe. Feels familiar. It's soft, it's flowy, and honestly, for many of us, it's the one part of our look we've been holding on to for years. But here's where it gets tricky. As we age, our face changes, our jawline softens, our neck loses definition, and long, heavy hair can actually work against us without us even realizing it. You see, when your hair is all one length and weighs down past your shoulders, it tends to pull the eye downward. Add in a center part and what you've got is a perfect frame around your face, but not necessarily in a good way. It's like putting a spotlight right on the jaw and neck. And if those are areas you're feeling a little more sensitive about lately, that visual weight just makes them more noticeable. Now, I'm not saying cut it all off. You absolutely don't have to. What I am saying is this: you've got to add movement. Add softness. Add shape. Because of long hair that just hangs there, it doesn't do much for you. But long hair with layers, with flow, with texture, that can make your face come alive again. Let's start with layers. Not drastic ones, just enough to break up the bulk. Layers that start around the cheekbone or jawline can lift the eye and add dimension to your face. They bring attention back up to your eyes, your cheekbones, your smile, instead of letting the weight drag everything down. Next, let's talk texture. Even a little wave or bend in the mid-lengths can change the whole energy of your look. It makes your hair look fuller. It brings back volume in the places you need it most. And here's a bonus. It softens the overall frame of your face, which can make you look more relaxed, more open, more radiant. Now about that part. A dead center part might have looked great in your 20s, but now can feel a bit too harsh. Try shifting your part just slightly to one side. It adds asymmetry, which helps balance your features and makes the whole look feel more modern and effortless. And we can't forget about bangs. A soft curtain bang or a side-swept fringe can work wonders for framing the upper face. They draw attention away from the jawline and toward the eyes. Plus, they add a bit of personality to your style without making it feel too done. The bottom line is this: long hair can still be beautiful and flattering as we age, but only if it evolves with us. Your hair should work with your features, not hide them or weigh them down. So don't be afraid to refresh your length with a little shape, a little softness, and a little movement. When you walk out of the salon and catch your reflection, you should feel like your best self, not your younger self, not your old self, but the version of you that's showing up today. And that version deserves to feel light, lifted, and completely confident. Let's talk about volume. Not just the kind you get from a blow dryer or mousse, but where that volume actually lives on your head. Because here's something most people don't realize. Where you place volume changes how your face is perceived. It's not just about big hair or flat hair. It's about direction. It's about focus. Picture this. You've got a haircut that adds bulk around your jawline. Even if it's styled beautifully, that fullness right there pulls the eye down. And when the eye goes down, your whole face can look heavier, wider, and more tired than it really is. That's the power of visual weight. It's sneaky, but it makes a big difference. Now flip that. Imagine you add a little lift at the crown of your head. Suddenly, the eye is drawn upward. The whole face feels more open, more balanced, more awake. And it's not just perception. It actually brings energy to your whole appearance. That little change in volume placement gives you a natural facelift, no needles or filters required. Let's break this down further. If your hair is heavy at the bottom, it closes you in. You lose your neck. Your shoulders feel weighed down. But when you lighten up the lower half and shift that fullness up toward your temples or crown, it's like turning the light on. Everything gets a little brighter, a little softer, a little more you. This is especially important as we age because our features naturally settle downward. It's biology. But your haircut can fight that gravitational pull if it's shaped smartly. Strategic volume is one of the most underrated anti-aging tools out there. So, how do you do it? Start by talking to your stylist about root lift. This could be through layers that are cut to build height at the top or through subtle teasing or blow-drying techniques. You don't need to go full retro beehive. Just enough to shift the balance. Think lift, not fluff. Styling products can help too. A volumizing mousse at the crown. A round brush to give that slight bend at the roots. Or even just drying your hair upside down for a few seconds can do wonders. It's not about overdoing it, it's about intention. Every bit of height matters when it's placed with purpose. And let's not forget shape. Volume isn't just vertical. It's also about how hair moves around your face. A little wave near the temples, a bend in the bangs, or softness near the cheeks all play a role. It's about creating a flow that draws the eye to your best features, not away from them. Bottom line? You don't need more hair. You just need smarter volume. When your haircut lifts in the right places and lightens in others, it becomes more than just style. It becomes a structure. And that structure is what gives your face the lift and presence it deserves. You deserve a haircut that doesn't just sit there, but one that actively supports you. That works with your face, not against it. That makes people say, "You look amazing," without knowing exactly why. Let's take a minute to talk about face shape. It's one of those things we kind of know about, maybe heard once in a magazine quiz or from a stylist years ago, but most of us don't really think about it when we get our hair done. And honestly, that's a missed opportunity. Because the shape of your face should influence the shape of your haircut. Think about it this way: your haircut is the frame and your face is the picture. The wrong frame can make a beautiful photo look awkward. But the right frame, it brings everything to life. It enhances what's already there, and makes the whole thing feel intentional and put together. So let's break it down. If you've got a square face with a strong jawline, what you need is softness. Layers that start below the cheekbone, a side part, and maybe a little wave can help round out those sharper angles. If your hair ends right at the jaw, it's going to make your face look boxier. But if you let the hair curve around the jaw and fall slightly past it, suddenly everything looks more balanced. Now, if you have a round face, you probably already know the struggle. Everything can start to feel too wide or too full. The goal here is vertical movement. Longer layers, volume at the crown, and a longer side bang can stretch the face visually. Avoid cuts that hug the cheeks too tightly or create a helmet effect. You want air, you want lift, you want movement. Oval face? Lucky you. This is the most balanced face shape and can pull off most styles. But even then, not everything works equally. Too much length without layers can drag the face down. So keep some texture, a little bounce, something that keeps the style alive. And heart-shaped faces, where the forehead is wider and the chin is narrower, really benefit from chin-length layers or styles that add volume near the jaw to balance everything out. Here's the key takeaway. When your haircut works with your natural features, you don't just look better. You feel better. You feel like your look finally makes sense. You stop fighting your face and start celebrating it. And that's a powerful shift. Now, if you're not sure what face shape you have, don't stress. There are simple ways to figure it out. Stand in front of a mirror, pull your hair back, and trace the outline of your face with something erasable. Or better yet, ask your stylist during your next visit. A good stylist will look at your bone structure, your proportions, and your natural hair texture to help you figure out what cut will make you shine. So the next time you're sitting in that salon chair and the stylist asks what you're thinking, don't just say, whatever you think. Say, let's find something that works with my face. That one sentence can change everything. Because when the cut fits the face, everything else just clicks. Let's be honest, we've all been tempted by a trendy haircut. You scroll through Instagram, see a celebrity with a sharp micro bang or an ultra-angled bob, and suddenly you're thinking, should I try that? It's easy to get swept up in the excitement. Trendy looks are fun, they're fresh, and they make you feel like you're part of something. But here's the thing. What's trendy isn't always what's flattering. The trouble with trends is they're designed to make a statement. And sometimes that statement is louder than you want it to be. A blunt fringe might look edgy in a photo shoot, but in everyday life, it could shorten your face or highlight lines you'd rather soften. A super layered shag might be all over fashion week, but if it fights your natural texture, it becomes high maintenance fast. The bigger problem? Most trends are built around one type of face. Usually young, symmetrical, and camera-ready. But we're not all walking around with professional lighting and wind machines. We're real women living real lives. And our hair has to work in the real world. That means flattering our features, fitting our lifestyle, and making us feel like the best version of ourselves, not like we're wearing someone else's style. Now, that doesn't mean you have to ignore trends altogether. There's a smart way to use them. Think of trends as inspiration, not instruction. Maybe you love that layered bob, but you tweak it so the layers fall where your cheekbones are. Or you admire those bangs, but ask your stylist to soften them into a side fringe that frames your eyes. It's all about customizing the idea so it works for your face, your texture, and your confidence. Because the best haircut isn't the one that's on the cover of a magazine. It's the one that makes you feel good when you catch your reflection in a shop window. The one that feels effortless, like it belongs to you. Let me give you an example. I once had a client who came in with a photo of a celebrity's pixie cut. It was sharp, choppy, and super trendy. But her face was long and her hair was fine. That cut would have made her look washed out and overwhelmed. Instead, we kept the general idea, short and bold, but softened the lines, added volume at the crown, and framed the face with some longer fringe. Same inspiration, totally different execution. And she loved it. So next time you're tempted by a trend, take a beat. Ask yourself, do I love this because it's trendy, or because it actually fits me? Talk to your stylist. Be open, but also be honest about what works for your life and your face. Because style isn't about following the crowd. It's about knowing who you are, and letting that show through your hair, your clothes, and your confidence. The best trend you can follow? The one that makes you feel like you. This is the moment it clicks. You're not chasing who you used to be. You're choosing to celebrate who you are right now. And that's the real glow-up. When you stop fighting your features and start framing them with intention, something powerful happens. You feel seen. You feel supported. And suddenly, your haircut isn't just a style. It's a statement. Not of trend, but of truth. Of knowing yourself. A woman once told me, I didn't even realize how heavy I felt until my haircut changed. That's what the right style does. It lifts more than your face. It lifts your energy, your posture, your presence. You walk differently, smile differently, because now, when you look in the mirror, you actually recognize the woman looking back. And she looks good. She looks strong. She looks like someone who's finally showing up for herself, and doing it with style. Let's wrap this up with something real. Your haircut doesn't have to be loud or dramatic to make an impact. It just has to feel right. When your hair frames your face in the right way, everything else starts to come together. You look more awake, more lifted, more like you. It's not about trying to look 20 again. It's about honoring the woman you are today, with softness, with confidence, with style that fits your life. I've seen it over and over again. A small shift in shape or length, and suddenly she's glowing. She's walking taller. Because it's not just about the hair. It's about feeling aligned with yourself. You deserve that. You've earned it. And the right haircut? It's a reminder that your beauty is still here, still evolving, still worth showing up for. So go ahead. Choose what lifts you, what lightens you, what makes you smile back at the woman in the mirror. If this video made you pause and think, maybe it's time for a change, then share it with a friend who might need the same nudge. Drop a comment and let me know which part spoke to you. I read every single one. And don't forget to subscribe because this space is growing. A place for women who want to age boldly, beautifully, and with intention. Next up, we're talking about 5 hairstyles that make you look taller and slimmer. You won't want to miss it.